But I don't think it's fair to connect you to say, like a neo-Nazi group. You're clearly not white supremacists.
No.
That being said, some of your members were in Charlottesville.
I was in Charlottesville.
So what was that all about? Were you the very fine people that Trump was talking about?
I think I was the very fine people that Trump was talking about, actually. I actually went there on their media capacity to record. I also felt some type of way about tearing down statues, period. Whether they're a work of art. They're supposed to make you feel some sort of way. And I felt like there was protesters on both sides. There was protesters on the other side that felt like they needed to take the statue down. But that didn't mean that there weren't people on both sides that weren't utter garbage. And usually the people on both sides that were utter garbage were the ones sitting in the back, and they waited. They waited till like the end of the event to start these clashes. I saw it from my own eyes. Heather Heyer lost her life, right? But I saw an Antifa black bloc with a broken flagpole trying to harpoon somebody. And the only reason that they weren't successful is because that guy was wearing a plate carrier. Or else it would have been 2 deaths. I mean, I'm talking about this guy was ramming this thing full speed at him. And luckily it was broken up. And state police was like maybe 10 feet away. And he just turned his back to this. So that, that let police do their job sometimes just doesn't work. Sometimes you have to step in. And I'm not saying to be a vigilante. I'm not telling anybody to be a vigilante. And I don't think you should be a vigilante. But sometimes we can do something and we can be smarter. But yes, there was people on both sides that were horrible. But there was people on both sides that I saw conversations where people were having, hey, I think that we should tear down this statue. It's a statue to slavery. And somebody else was saying, no, this isn't a statue to slavery. And they had like their compelling arguments. And we don't have enough of that. And the media, that doesn't sell.
Yeah.
That doesn't get clicks. And these media giants are corporations. Their main purpose is to make money.
And that's why they said, do not interview the Proud Boys, even though they got named in a presidential debate, one of the most consequential in our lifetimes. I think it's extremely important to figure out who you are, what you stand for, and what you're doing. In terms of Charlottesville, I believe Gavin issued a statement denouncing the alt-right.
Yes.
But wasn't one of the organizers a Proud Boy?
He came, so first we have to see what a Proud Boy is, right? In order to say, well, he's a member or not. So a member is somebody that's integrated into a chapter. Because like, let's say we're hanging out at a bar, you've heard of the Proud Boys and you want to be part of the Proud Boys, but you're in town. Let's say we're in Miami and you're from New York. So I could give you like a first degree, but that doesn't mean that you're a member. Like you have to integrate into a chapter.
What is a first degree?
First degree is that you claim that you're a Western chauvinist and you refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. That doesn't mean that you're a Proud Boy. That means like you're just taking that pledge.
What's a chauvinist in this context?
Well, it's funny because we use words in certain ways in order to get, I guess, to be provocative. Like American supremacist, I guess it was provocative when I was flying over here. But chauvinist means excessively patriotic is what it means, what that word means. And people get that confused all the time with male chauvinist, which are two completely different things. Like a person that's a male chauvinist is extremely proud to have a penis, right? Or extremely proud to be a man. A Western chauvinist is somebody that's excessively patriotic towards the West, Western values. And in the case of American Proud Boys, because we have Proud Boys chapters around the world, including in Eastern countries, we're patriotic. We're extremely patriotic towards America.
Is that what you mean by
States.
West specifically?
Yes. Well, American Proud Boys, yes. But Western civilization also, as a whole, created this awesome system where we're able to sit next to each other and broadcast to millions of viewers and in the comfort of a studio.
Then what's the opposite of that? What's the alternative to Western civilization? Eastern civilization?
Well, the opposite would be, it would be Eastern civilization. And it doesn't mean, here's another thing, like just because it's kind of like an America First thing. And then the first thing people think of is like, oh, well, you're crapping all over the other countries. No, it doesn't mean that we're putting other countries last. It means that we want to put America first, whether it's through activism, legislation, anything that we do in our lives, we do want to put our country first. Now we have allies like Mexico and Canada. It doesn't mean that they're last. We're the most giving country in the world. We could fund the UN by ourselves. We don't need no help. But why would we do that? So what have they given us?
So I don't want to deviate too far. I do want to come back to the degrees of Proud Boy, but I want to take it back to Charlottesville real quick. So who was this guy and who was organizing it? You're saying that was he not a Proud Boy or what?
He came to a meeting, and after that he didn't get integrated into a chapter, and then shortly after that he decided to do the Unite the Right rally, which is what it was called in Charlottesville. And we saw it coming from a mile away that it was a horrible idea. It was just a stupid idea.
Weren't there like avowed white nationalists like before the event happened saying they were organizing this, they were coming down?
Yeah. There was people that were saying that they're going to come down and they're not going to tear down these statues.
But these were the avowed white nationalists. So like you knew beforehand who was going to be there.
We knew, obviously you knew it, because after he announced that this, like, even the flyer was cringy, that's why we knew it wasn't going to be a good event to go to, period. So that's why Gavin said that he disavowed the entire event. And these guys were so stupid that they thought that the first one went so good that they started making Unite the Right 2, which was a complete
that was
flop.
Ridiculous.
But
so let me ask you, knowing who was organizing, who was going to be there, and then even the night before, you had these people marching around, as Joe Biden likes to, constantly talk about, the people with the torches. Mm-hmm. At a certain point, don't you say, like, I don't want to be here with these people?
Are you asking me personally?
Yeah. I mean, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there. Well, I wasn't at that Tiki Torch march.
No, right.
I wasn't at that Tiki Torch, and I wasn't there like as an activist. I was there to record.
Oh, okay.
I was there to record. I did feel, like I just said, I did feel some type of way of tearing down history. My parents, my grandfather's Cuban, and I've gone to Cuba many times throughout my adult life, and I've understood like what the consequences of a socialist government is. I've understood them erasing history, and as a matter of fact, when Che Guevara and Castro were taking over the island from the west coast to the east coast, there was this little farm just outside the outskirts of a city that was strategically important for the revolution. So they took over that farm, but they asked the family that was there, that they wanted to use the farm as a forward operating base in order to attack the city. Well, when that family declined, they got the two oldest males and they brought them out. They put them on their knees. They tied their hands behind their back, and they shot them in the back of the head. And that family shares a last name with me because they were my family, is the Tarrios. So I do know, and what they did on the island after that made my grandfather leave. They started erasing history, and the same thing that I saw, what they wanted to do in Charlottesville. Again, I wasn't going to go. If I didn't get a gig recording, I wouldn't have gone. I would have seen the mayhem from the comfort of my phone. But it was something that you needed to be there. The media spun it in a way that I've never seen them spin something like that before. Like, before I got to my hotel room, that's it. It was chaos. And there was chaos. But they focused on small fringe groups. They didn't focus on people. They didn't focus on those small conversations. Actually, that was the first time I met Daryl Lamont Jenkins, and he was having actually a really good conversation with somebody.
Who's Daryl?
Daryl Lamont Jenkins, self-identified member of Antifa that lives in the Philadelphia area, I believe. And I've had multiple conversations with him before. Out in D.C., Portland, I've seen him all over the place. But he did have a conversation. He did have nasty conversations with people. But the media focuses on the bad that's going on in the world. And people like to focus on, oh my God, the Civil War is coming. I don't believe that. I believe, like, you go to the grocery store, talk to your neighbor. The country isn't as divided as the magic light box makes you think it is. So But it doesn't mean that we could just sit idly and not do anything. And I don't want to do that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.